the Wellness Center. What I was saying is the nomenclature is a little weird because I do support the Wellness Center, but I also support our Office of Outdoor Adventures as well as our recreation programs, so intramural sports and competitive sports and everything aquatics related. So I'm very excited to be here. I am officially a veteran at the University of San Diego. I've been here for 3 months. I definitely am not still getting lost. I moved here back from the East Coast. I've lived in New York for the last 7 years, opening wellness centers in the private sector. Previous to that, I was in San Diego. I worked for about 12 years-ish on corporate leave for Equinox, a big fitness entity, and before that, I was in higher ed. My master's degree is in higher ed, and I work specifically at Dean College and MIT in the Community Development Drug and Alcohol Programs offices. So this job does represent a big full circle moment for me where I get to put together my career in fitness and wellness and higher ed all together. So I'm stoked to be here, as you hopefully can tell. I'm also so extremely stoked is the word I'm trying to find, to be here with you all. I was you all at one point in my undergrad. I was actively a part of student government at the University of Maryland and was an elected person just like you and doing the good work and sometimes scarily seeing my name in newspapers and things like that, but always trying to do the good work for the students. So I just really appreciate everything that you put into this process. So that being said, how many of you were able to go on tour with us a couple of weeks ago and see the Wellness Center? It was pretty awesome, right? For those of you that weren't able to join us, let me just say, don't worry, we're almost there. The walls are up, windows are in, we are on track for an occupancy license for the end of December, which would mean that when you return from your winter break, you will hopefully be returning to a wellness center. Our plan as of now is to get that occupancy license the last week of December, do some finishing touch-up work the beginning of January, move in all the equipment, offices, things like that, like around the 15th to the 21st. And then do some soft launches for a couple days, and then have the doors officially open the 27th. And then we'll celebrate big time on the 6th of February with a big grand opening event from 11:30 to 2. And then we start an 8-week grand opening program schedule where we have tons of stuff in store. I'll talk about that a little bit later. So that is the plan, and that's where we're at. And like I said, you know, I know that some people are scared by scaffolding and things like that, but I promise we are on track to be open. So what is the space exactly? Again, I know you guys know this, and I know you've been actively a part of it for a long time, but it's an 80,000 square foot space. That is a ton of space. We are really excited to be sharing it with the NCAA men's and basketball women's team, and we will have about 55,000 square feet of space just for wellness, indoors, and then about 79,000 square feet of outdoor space. And we're gonna be doing everything holistically. So we're gonna have a lot of stuff for students in the community to participate in that's gonna benefit their physical health, but also their mental health and their spiritual health and financial health. We're gonna have art therapy and sound therapy and movement therapy and all of that. And everything we're going to have is based on your feedback. As you hopefully participated in or know people that participated in, we did do some focus groups back in March of 2022 with students to figure out what exactly you were hoping for, what you wanted. It was 8 small groups and 1 large group. And this is basically where we were able to end up with everything. So everything that you see with a green check mark next to it is something that we've already been able to complete. The things that don't have a check mark next to it are either things that we've planned in different areas or future planning. So you will not see an indoor track, unfortunately, but you will see a big new practice field. There was a lot of concerns over losing the field space, and so we're going to have a Euro soccer-sized field space. We're also going to have the sand volleyball courts, basketball court, pickleball court, and I'm most excited about personally an outdoor fitness area where we'll have some squat racks and ropes and slam wall things and step wall things and tire flipping and all of that kind of stuff. You're also going to see rooms for expanded group fitness. This is really important to me for a few reasons. One, we have an amazing program here, and I hope some of you have already participated in that. But the program that we had was sometimes in the Wellness Center, and sometimes, in the Croc Center, and sometimes it was outside. It was all over the place. So the fact that we can centralize these offerings is super exciting. We also were able to create these multi-purpose spaces to be able to be used for other things. So come in, have your meetings, have your student groups come in and enjoy and do activities, and we're able to have them focus. So one of the multi-purpose rooms is going to be a mindfulness studio where we'll have sound therapy, meditation, yoga, Pilates, hot yoga, things of that nature. And the other one where we'll have much more movement-based classes like circuit training, spin, boot camps, dance classes, things like that. You'll also see that we have the big, beautiful boulder going in. Hopefully you'll see that before you leave, but maybe it'll have to happen while you're away for the holidays. But we're very excited about that. There's lots of other things that are coming down the pipeline, so take a look at the graphic. Feel free to ask me any questions specifically, but it meant a lot to the committee to make sure as much of the student voice was able to be heard and seen in that facility. Did we go black just because I got lazy? Just move this around?
No.
Oh, Diana Rossett. So this is just a little bit more about the numbers. So in the 50 to 55,000 square feet of wellness space, you're going to see the fitness center, the multi-purpose rooms. We will have our wellness wing, which is where our SHWIP offices will be, the Center for Health Promotion offices. In that wing, we will also have our care advocates, our health equity office. We also will have telehealth rooms, really excited for that. Any of you that do any sort of telehealth services ever know that sometimes it's really hard to find a private spot to talk to your doctor or your physician in, so we'll have these private rooms that students can use for those appointments. We'll also have some gathering spaces, mini lounges. We'll have our restoration lounge, which will have our nap pods in it. We'll also have a couple wellness decks that have some gathering spots as well. We have our esports lounge going in, our juice bar, our teaching kitchen, and then as I talked about outside, we have the volleyball court, basketball court, bouldering wall, and fitness area. The indoor space for the NCAA basketball teams, I really can't talk about very much because it is separate from us, but if you do have any questions about it, please ask, and I'll do my best to find the answers if I don't have them. And specifically, two microphones. Specifically in the wellness wing, like I said, the care office will be the RSVP peer educators, alcohol 101 classes. We'll run some 12-step programs from there. Have you heard about our newest one, which is like a sober curious group? We'll run from there. Individual consultations, the prayer room, sensory room, the telehealth booths, and the home equity and access office. I've already mentioned some of the stuff that we're going to be doing in the fitness and wellness area, but I really want to highlight, a few things in particular. One is that esports lounge. We are stoked. This is going to be, I think, a really exciting space for students to go and be able to find community in a different way. In a way, quite honestly, that a lot of people probably previously said was not healthy, right? Oh, you're just sitting behind your computer and playing games and you need to get out and about. But what we know to be true, actually, is that loneliness is one of the top wellness challenges that people in society are facing today. And a lot of people are going to fight loneliness through community. So to be able to offer a specific area for our gamers is something we're really excited about. I think it's going to show up in a lot of different ways, whether it's through our gaming group or it's through programs that we plan to have pitch for. We're going to host our first E-Olympics at the end of March, things like that. Really excited for students to find community in that space a little different. Also want to point out our teaching kitchen and our nutritional lab. We plan on running cooking classes, of course, but also nutritional seminars. We're going to offer probably I don't know how to put it together, but like dip in kind of experiences where maybe right before finals week you can come in and build your own granola pack full of smart foods. So foods specifically that will help you increase the brain capacity for all that hard work that you're doing, things like that, goji berries, hawthorn berries, things of that nature that we know help. So our grand opening plans, like I said, on February 6th, we're going to have a big grand opening event that's going to be led by our marketing department and our events and conference team. That's going to, we just decided it's going to have a theme of wellness journey. So we'll take students on a journey throughout the space on that day, where you'll get prizes for participating in all different areas of the wellness center, and really get people to learn all the different holistic activities we'll have in that center. And then that will flow into an 8-week program. And the 8-week program will officially kick off that Saturday. I'm begging you all to help me find a different name for this event. We are stuck right now on Yoga Palooza, but I need a new name for it. But that Saturday will be our first big event. It will be an all-day yoga event where we have power yoga, we'll have restorative yoga, we'll have meditation, we'll have sound healing. We'll have a lot of games and giveaways and food and things like that. But then throughout that 8 weeks, we'll have some small programs like a capoeira class and a tai chi class. We'll have a couple little events like ear seating. Anybody ever done ear seats before? Oh man, you're in for it. It's amazing. So ear seating is a method used in Chinese medicine specifically, where they believe that your ear is a roadmap for everything in your body. And so they put these little tiny jewel beads in different places on your ears, and then it activates. So it can help with liver or detoxing, or I used to use it in New York on the subway. There was a point for stress. So every time I was on the subway and people started yelling, I would just be sitting there like this, pressing my stress point. But it's a really fun way to incorporate traditional Chinese medicine into your everyday life. So we'll have activations like that. And then we'll have 4 big events. So the E-Olympics I've already told you about. The to-be-named Yoga Palooza event that I already talked about. We're going to do a midnight bingo event, and then we're doing a big weekend full of events for Grandparents Weekend. So lots of little events, lots of fun activations, and then 4 big events for that as well. There is still time though, as some of you have already been asked, to give me some ideas for different events and programs that you want to see incorporated, or if you represent different student groups, different student identities that you want to make sure are a part of this program, please, 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 let's talk about it and make sure that everybody can come in and have a good time during that programming. That's my presentation. What questions do you have for me? Hit me. I'm ready for all of them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The Health and Wellness Coordinator.
Hello, Samantha.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Of
That
course,
was a great
it's my pleasure.
presentation. I'm very excited for the opening of it. I was wondering if there would be a possibility of opening it up like hours-wise earlier in the morning. I think it opens 7 to 11, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Would that be a possibility?
Definitely a possibility. So the hours that I was given when I first got here have already been changed. We've already extended them, so clap, clap for that. So our official opening hours are going to be Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., and on the weekends, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. We do really hope that once we live in the space for next semester, we're able to open it earlier than 7 a.m. as well. So this is kind of just what we're going to start at. I'll be honest, the reason that I'm having a little trouble getting the hours extended earlier is because of the flow of traffic currently in McNamara and Bosley. So currently we know that students aren't using it in the early hours, but I believe once we have this beautiful facility up and running, people are going to be knocking down the doors all times of day to get in, so I think it'll be really easy at that point to justify opening it earlier. So fingers crossed. So if you are an early bird, worker outer, I am, for sure. Let's just make sure that we get in there nice and early and utilize it, and then we can justify it. Yeah, thank you, of course.
The Sustainability Coordinator.
Hi, thank you so much for coming. Also, I think we talked about, when we went on the tour, just about the garden and how we're going to incorporate that into the kitchen and everything. So I was just wondering, like, where that would be, like, when that could be like implemented or something like
Yeah.
that, and what the kitchen space will be like specifically used for? Like, will it just be for classes, or will it also be for like learning about like sustainable food ventures and things like that? So.
Yeah. So after you and I chatted on the tour, I did go back to the committee on that, and I found out, because it was news to me, we are planning some garden areas. It will not be necessarily a part of the wellness center. Hopefully you all are aware that right after the wellness center opens, we are also doing a little bit of a revamp of Bosley, and it will turn into the hub for outdoor adventures and for students who participate in either outdoor adventures as a resource or just nature activities and things like that. There will be a space between the wellness center and that new Bosley that they plan on using. They plan on building the garden areas for. So I was very excited to hear that. So it was actually a very meaningful decision to not do it in the wellness center and to wait for Bosley to have it be a little bit bigger and more of a journey to connecting these two buildings. So I'm excited for that. And then yes, absolutely, the nutritional kitchen, the nutritional lab, I think is a really important area, and I think for a few reasons. One, cooking classes. They're fun. I don't know about you all, but I literally can't be trusted with an oven, so like all I need is classes to help me in that area for sure. But more than that, we know that food is medicine, and we certainly know that there are things that we can do daily to improve our lifestyle when it comes to foods and plants in general. So we really do plan on having this be a hub of education specifically around that. For instance, some of the programming that we're looking at is how do you build a menu for yourself that is specific to gut health or brain health or deregulating your central nervous system and things like that. So very excited about that, and I think as an addition to adding on sustainable choices that you can make in cooking and the kitchen is an awesome program idea as well. So let's do it, and I'll call you and we'll plan it.
I actually have a follow-up question with that.
Sure.
Is there planning on hiring nutritionists and so it's people that specialize in that?
Absolutely. Yes, so there is a plan to hire a nutritionist. The auxiliary department is heading that up, so I unfortunately don't have information on it. They're the ones with the funding that are supposed to be hiring that person. So you now know as much as I know. Yes, they plan on it, and I'm told they'll be ready to go for day one, so, yeah.
And that would only be like them, well, I know you just said that you lack information on this, so I'm sorry. Would it just be like the cooking classes, or like will eventually maybe be an option for students to have like private,
Services as well. Since it's coming out of the auxiliary department, I think we should count on it at first being in support of the juice and smoothie bar and the nutrition lab. That being said, there are a lot of people on campus who are very supportive of adding in a nutrition element to all of this. So I would say for sure count on it not being in February, but count on it being a priority for us as we move forward as another way to engage different kinds of programming into the Wellness Center for sure.
Senator Cassidy?
Hi, I just have a question in regards to the multi-purpose rooms.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if students will have access to these rooms outside of recreational classes, and if so, is there going to be like a system where students can reserve these rooms?
So yes, and I don't know. Yes, the rooms are always going to be open, so if there's not classes going on, students can go in and use them at any time of day. Almost all the equipment will be available. Some equipment won't be available, like our new Pilates machines probably won't be available for use outside of classroom hours. I will say we did expand the classes considerably this first semester, and my plan is to expand them again. And so there may not be hours and endless hours of time that it's available, but I think it's going to be for a good cause because there's just going to be so much more class and programming going on in there, and classroom programming going on in different ways. So right now, you have to sign up in advance for either a credit or non-credit option to take a class here at the University of San Diego, which is amazing that that's an option. But it does mean if you woke up today and you're like, I am losing my mind, finals are next week, I'm so stressed out, I have so much on my plate, I just need to, de-stress somehow, I wish I could go take a meditation class. Right now, we don't have that option for you. We will have that option beginning in January, so I'm super excited about that. So yes, anytime there's not classes, those multi-purpose rooms will be open. We have not made the determination yet if they're going to be readily reservable through our reservation system, or if the reservations will go just through our team. And we haven't made that decision yet because I personally am very scared that, not scared, I'm stoked, that there's not going to be the availability. I think that these rooms are going to be so highly used by students, either in classes or in that off time, that they're, having them as reservable spaces won't make sense, because I'm just not in the business of kicking you guys out when you want to be doing, movement type stuff. So for now, we're going to pause on making them reservable until we see how the students are using the space. And then if that is something that seems like it's a good idea next semester, then absolutely we'll start to make them reservable. For now, I want them to be open use for you all.
The finance chair?
Quick check on scale of 1 to 10. How are we doing so far? Are we excited? 8? Excited 9? Excited 10? Bummed 1? Anyone? I'm coming for the people who are bummed. We're bummed? Oh, you're excited.
Hello, my question was, do you have any information on the wellness fee that students have to pay, and how did you decide that amount? If you know about that?
Really good question, and I promise I'm not trying to just get out of it. I didn't have anything to do with it. It happened long before I was hired. So I don't have much information on it. I know that it's there. I know that it's part of what's going to help us in a very small way, definitely not in totality, pay for a lot of these programmings that we're going to have available to you. A gym like this, and again, some of you may not be familiar, but the companies that I worked for before, like Equinox, that this facility is absolutely going to be in comparison to, would have like a $250, $300 a month membership fee. So the fact that this facility is going to open and it's going to be so beautiful, so accessible, have such great equipment ready for you, with that nominal fee, I think is really exciting. But truthfully and transparently, which by the way is, you're going to get sick of me saying transparently, I always tell too much information. It just wasn't a part of the process, so I can't answer the question fully. But I'm excited that we do have some of those funds coming in to build such a beautiful facility. Byron, do you have more information that I'm not?
Because I've only been here 2 years and that all started.
Yeah, it started way before us.
Point of privilege?
Senator Marzano?
Hi, are the, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Are the main fitness center and the Bosley gym still going to be operable after the wellness center opens?
No. So the Bosley Center and McNamara, once the Wellness Center opens, are going to be repurposed. The McNamara area is going to be repurposed through athletics, and Bosley is being repurposed for outdoor adventures and, again, students who enjoy that kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot of, I haven't seen McNamara, I've only seen Bosley because I support Bosley. So there's going to be some really beautiful meeting spaces and lounge areas and things like that, as well as all the rental equipment that students have available through outdoor adventures in Bosley. And then, like I said, for McNamara, athletics is taking that on. To offset that, though, in this new center, I can't imagine a world where you would have wanted to go to those places. Like, all of our equipment is going to be top notch. You are going from however many, does anybody here go to McNamara and use the Olympic lifting stations? You do? Yeah, so we are doubling how many Olympic lifting stations we have. We'll both have the outdoor options and the indoor options for those, because I know a lot of students are really into that kind of movement pattern. We're having a Jacob's ladder, Versa climbers, ski ergs, as well as stair mills, ellipticals, the treadmills, more kettlebells, more functional equipment, ropes, things like that. So we're gonna have sleds, we're gonna have the tires, like all that kind of stuff. So I think once you see this center, I hope anyway, you're gonna just be really excited that this will be the new hub for everything fitness related. Fingers crossed. There's a tap dance class upstairs?
I have no clue what's going on up there. I just hope the ceiling doesn't fall. Senator Annika.
Hi, thank you for coming in today.
Of course, my pleasure.
We may have gone over this, but for the fitness classes, so I know you guys are gonna have like reserving your spot in order to be in the class. So is there gonna be a subscription fee for each class you wanna take, and like how much would that cost? Would that go into tuition, or do you pay like as you wanna go to classes?
So both. Right now, the way it works for classes is there is a small fee to enroll in the classes. I want to say it's, depending on the class, like $90 to $120 for the semester, and that's for credit, right? For the classes, there'll be a small drop-in fee, and so that will range from, I believe, $5 to $15, depending on the classes. So there will be, the answer is it'll be both.
Oh, thank you.
And just for the specialized program classes.
Thank you.
Senator Monica.
Hi, I had two questions and it's kind of related to what the
Sure.
other senator said. So for most of the classes right now, they're full, and I know that there's a really high demand for reformer Pilates. Are there going to be more classes opening up for the reformer?
So we just added 2 more. They immediately filled. So the answer is yes. I don't know that I'll be able to get more in for spring at this point. But now we will know for the fall that we need to basically have 65 Pilates reformer classes on the schedule, which, by the way, I've taught Pilates for almost 30 years. It's my whole heart. I'm more than happy to have 65 Pilates reformer classes on the schedule. We do have quite a few classes that are already full. We do have a ton of classes that still have spots open, so not the reformer classes, unfortunately, but you know, a lot of the hot yoga classes, the mat Pilates classes, the bar classes, the circuit training. We have an intro to, did I lose my mic? An intro to Olympic lifting class that I'm sad that I haven't seen more registrations come through quite yet, because I'm really excited to have that offering. So there's a ton of options, and every semester I think we'll just start to do better, right? We'll learn our lessons, offer more. I definitely heard from a lot of the underclassmen that they didn't have enough offerings available to them when it came time for them to register. So we'll definitely correct that moving forward.
Senator Monica.
And the second question is, do you think like in the future there will be opportunities for like students to get certified in like Pilates or other types of
Yes,
things?
thank you. Not only do I think that, this Friday and Saturday, actually, if any of you are certified or you have friends that are certified, we are running auditions for next semester for anybody that would like to be an instructor and come in and teach. And then starting in the fall semester, some of our rec programs will be classes to go towards certifications. So we're looking at yoga, spin, Pilates, and personal training to add to our recreation program classes. Thank you so much for asking that. That only gives me a little extra juice in planning that, because I've been planning that for a couple of months, and so I'm glad you asked. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
President Morgan.
Thank you so much for coming today and presenting.
Of course.
So I was fortunate enough to be on the wellness committee as one of the student representatives for ASG, and so I just had a question regarding the prayer room, just because I know that some religions don't allow both genders to be in the same room. So what is that room looking like, if you have any information regarding that?
So I have seen it. It is going to be supported by the SHWIP offices, so the Center for Health Promotion will be the offices specifically supporting the prayer room. It's a smaller room that is next to the hot yoga studio and the sensory room. The back windows go out to the wellness deck, and it has that viewpoint of just like that entire canyon, so it's really beautiful. To answer your question specifically about genders, it is just one room. So if there is concern over that, I think we should sidebar with SHWIP and maybe come up with a reservation policy or something that would address that specifically, because I think that's an amazing point. So let's do that, or I'll do that and circle you in.
The sustainability coordinator?
This kind of relates to like the question that they were talking about, just with getting people certified. What is like student employment gonna look like at like the health center?
You guys are just asking my dream questions. Thank you again for asking that question. We have recently posted in all areas, our social media as well as the, I'm gonna get the term wrong, Byron. Where did we post for student employment jobs on campus? Like, say it again?
Handshake? No.
Handshake, on Handshake. Got it. Serena, who I support in recreation, posted that everywhere. We have, take this with a grain of salt because it's really based on hours, not on heads, but we have about 56 positions for students in the Wellness Center for next semester. So who wants a job? Yes, see me after. We have basically 2 positions that we're going to be hiring for. One position is going to support the fitness side of things. So these are students who will be specifically more interested, most likely, in supporting personal training, group fitness, manning the fitness floor, helping people with spots, exercise suggestions, things like that, and you will be trained specifically in those areas. The second job will be for students who may be a little bit more interested in all areas hospitality related, administration, marketing, things like that. These students will be specifically working the front desk, manning the lounge spaces, doing tours, and then assisting with the administration work. And so, again, the hours is based on 8-hour shifts, which isn't actually true, and but we're looking at about 56 positions total. We just posted those, and we are actively hiring. Spread the word, and then tell them again.
The speaker from the board.
Hi, thank you so much for coming in today.
Of course.
I had a question regarding intercession. So I'm a part of the cheer team here, so I'll be here for like most of intercession. So I was just wondering what facilities would be open during intercession for one.
Yep.
And I know that you're transferring the equipment from the gyms over to the wellness center, and that will probably be prioritized over intercession. So I just wanted to know if those facilities would be open during that time.
Great question. So the plan, in order to have facilities available for students over intercession, is that McNamara is going to stay open until the last possible moment. Bosley will close the end of this semester and will end up being kind of our hub for moving equipment, cleaning equipment, repurposing equipment, all of that kind of stuff. So Bosley will go offline, and it will kind of look like your, you know, I'm the auntie that hoards too much their house as we kind of stuff it full of all the equipment and clean everything, get it all ready. McNamara will be fully functional, and then once the Wellness Center opens, then we'll take McNamara offline. So that way you always have a really good, clean, fully equipped facility to be using during intercession.
Senator Jackie?
Hi, thank you so much for coming. I was just wondering, are you guys going to be offering self-defense classes as well as, I had an idea, maybe for like Women's History Month in March, you can do like a self-defense like boot camp, and you can even reach out to like Women in Business, Society of Women Engineers, and like maybe do like a collaborative event with them?
Gonna write down that idea for the grand opening program as soon as we're done, so the answer to that is yes. We are not moving, though, our recreation programs that center around self-defense, martial arts, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, all that to the Wellness Center because we don't have the proper spacing for the mats. So we're going to keep those programs in the Sports Center where we have the proper equipment and the large equipment needed to run those programs. Those programs also will hopefully expand now that we've taken some of the other programs out of the Sports Center, so there's a little bit more time available to increase that programming, because that class always does really well and sells out, so I'd love to offer that at a couple more times. So we'll add it to the grand opening program for sure, and then that's kind of the plan long term for martial arts.
The clerk?
So going back to like the early morning, you said like there's not a lot of traction due to that cause. Have you ever considered reaching out to, like, I know a lot of the sports, they use the very morning early. Will they be using that facility during those times? And if possible, will like clubs be able to use that facility during the early morning times?
The clubs are going to be able to use the facility not just in the early morning times, but there may be some designated practice times that are early morning specifically. So yes. And then the first part of the question was, I guess that kind of answers actually both parts of the question. So yes, our staff, the wellness center right now, planning to open at 7 a.m. But I would assume that we're going to have some student groups that may be utilizing it before 7 a.m. in the short term for specific practices, and those would be sports clubs.
President Morgan? Do you play a sport, Clark?
I'm in NRTC.
Yes, we could do some early morning speaker workouts too.
What? So it's just Robert's Rules of Order. If the person that speaks is not recognized, then we're breaking the rules. And the parliamentarian, that's her job. So sorry, she was just doing a good job.
I had a question about the schedule. So when classes are happening, how is the availability time going to be communicated to students that want to use the rooms during those times that classes aren't happening?
When the group fitness classes aren't happening, how will be communicated to students that the room is available for use? Tell me if this isn't, honestly, just that the doors are open. You know, we will constantly be communicating that people can come in and freely use that space. And then the student fitness staff will be the ones to task to get the rooms ready for the classes. So there'll be like some sort of communication of, oh, class is starting in 15 minutes, it's time to head out. But if you feel like there's any more communication needed, let me know, we're happy to do it.
The Sustainability Coordinator?
I know you mentioned this, is going along with what Morgan said, but I know you mentioned like having like TVs, so maybe possibly like putting something on the TVs where it's like, these are the times at the schedule so that students could just go by and like take a picture of it like for the week or something like that?
Perfect, yes, we'll do that. That's a great idea. We also, I know we had talked about too, possibly being able to have on the TVs workouts playing that students could also drop into and join into, so we're working on that. I had one program not work out to do that specifically, so now I'm working on some alternative ideas, but that was going to be another way to use that. Also, you haven't asked yet, but maybe of interest, for sustainability and as well as any other students that maybe support students who you know, maybe neurodivergent students or students with sensory issues, we are going to have 2 times a day that we will lower lights and we will not play music. That will help again with, to me, 2 different identities of students who are concerned with sustainability, as well as students who just have some sensitivity to bright lights or loud music or things like that. So 7 to 8 a.m. will be the low lights, no music time, and then 3 to 4 p.m.
That's really nice.
Yeah, no problem.
I actually have a question, or one, more like a suggestion. I totally agree with the sustainability coordinator on the, but is there a way maybe that we could do like a little website, or maybe in the link of the Be Well Instagram or somehow we get like a fixed schedule or anything? Because I didn't even know that we could already register for these classes.
Yes, I have it. I'm so sorry. I will get it to you right after this. We have a QR code already with the fixed schedule ready to go. So I will send that out. I'll probably send it to you right away, and then you can pass it on to everyone.
That works. Senator Jonathan?
I think another suggestion like regarding this issue of like how to like different things would be like probably like having like a new tab on like the My San Diego app, especially because like this is like a very new thing, and I know you guys want to promote it as much as possible. For example, like we have like the little like tram thing where we could like have like the little map, so maybe like something like that where like it like gets updated every like day, so like it's like very just easy and accessible to students instead of like having to go all the way here and check here, like
Check
maybe
that,
that could
yeah.
be like another possibility.
You all use the My San Diego app daily. That would be a good hub. Okay, great. There have been some considerations, and Morgan probably knows this, there had been some talk about developing our own app at one point, something I'd love to do in the future. I personally, we have been talking to some outside companies to do, and if we do it in the future, I'd much rather that be a student-led project that we could really personalize, just so you know, in case any of you need a career suggestion for the future. Software in health and wellness stinks. None of it works how any company actually needs it to work. So we need someone to develop the software for a health and wellness company that actually works for everybody. But so that being said, doing the app didn't work for now, but I love the idea of maybe working it into my USD for now, and then we'll develop the app as we go.
Senator Cassidy.
Hi, I just want to know what features will be in the multi-purpose rooms. Like, will there be like yoga mats, TVs, like a built-in speaker system, and all that?
Yes. So in the multi-purpose rooms, there'll be a built-in sound system. The instructors all will wear microphones and things like that, but there'll also be music playing, except for the quiet hours. We'll have spin bikes, we'll have the Pilates reformers, we have Pilates rings, we have myofascial balls, we have weights, we have kettlebells, we have a new kind of step. It's called an escape deck step. Anybody ever used one before, escape deck? No? So it looks like a step that you would use in a group fitness class, except it has kind of like a lever that pulls up so you can use it as if it was a bench for strength training. And then also has hooks for bands used as well. So all that, just a ton of different kinds of equipment going in. A lot of it is stuff you've seen before, but new. And then a lot of it is stuff that we haven't had before on campus, so very excited. So for yoga, we're working with Manduka, so we'll have the yoga mats, we'll also have the hot yoga towels, we'll have the blocks, we'll have bolsters, all of that kind of stuff. It's really gonna be pretty awesome.
The sustainability coordinator, I do want to say that we only have about 2.5 minutes left for this agenda item, just something to keep in mind.
Sorry, another question.
No.
I know you mentioned the thing about the ear seating, which is like a Chinese practice of medicine. So I was wondering how we're incorporating like other cultures, like medicine practices, like Ayurveda or Chinese medicine, and like will there be like events geared towards that?
Yeah. So the things that we already have planned is working with Sami on some indigenous practices and recipes to incorporate in programs, the Chinese medicine programs, and then we have a couple of Ayurvedic inspired programs and lessons, but looking to expand obviously more than that. So again, another area that if you have ideas, if you have connections, if you know of great instructors in the area that lead special things, love to include it. And again, don't think squats, lunges, that kind of stuff, but also think about other forms of healing, whether it's art therapy, crafting, music therapy, sound therapy, financial therapy, spiritual therapy, all these different kinds of wellness will exist in the Wellness Center. So if there's an idea that in your head and you're like, I'm just not sure if it fits, please still bring it up and speak it into existence, because it probably is a way that someone finds health, wellness, or community, and that's really our focus. One more question?
Yeah, we have time for just one more.
I did think of one other thing I wanted to point out too that we're also very excited about. On the group fitness schedule for the first time this year, we will also have a couple of offerings that are completely in Spanish. So we'll have a yoga in Spanish class and a dance class in Spanish class for students who, or our native Spanish speakers. So excited about that as an offering as well.
It's really great. We're well, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate your time. My email, I don't know if, should we go backwards? My email is KYEAGER, so my first initial, my first name, my last name, @sandiego.edu. I spend an atrocious amount of time on all of my devices, so if you email me and I don't answer back, there's a problem. Email me a second time. But please, if you have any concerns, questions, ideas, again, if you're interested in employment, if you have a friend interested in employment, please pass on my information. I'd love to hear from you all. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much. All right. Our next order of business is the presentation from the Finance Chair on Q2 reports and Spring 2025 budget allocations. If we can give her a round of applause. There will be numbers in this presentation, so you are allowed to have technology out to look at numbers if you need to.
Round of applause. It was great. Not needed, but thank you. So today we're going to be talking about quarter 2 budget reports and Spring 2025 allocations. So just a quick overview. I know I think I've done this a lot, but just good to know. We have 3 non-voting members, which is the Finance Chair, Chief of Staff, and the ASG Advisor. And then for the quarter 2 meetings, we only had 7 voting members. 4 from exec, which is the President, Vice President, Speaker of the Senate, and the TPP Chair, and as well as the 3 Senate Committee Chairs, so IDEA, Student Org, and Student Life. Some documents to reference, these are all in the email that I sent after the speaker's agenda email. So in that email, you should be able to find the fall quarter 2 ASG budget reports, the Spring 2025 allocations, the Center funding guide, and the sustainable purchasing guidelines. So Finance Committee met last week. There were 3 meetings and they were all 3 hours long. So a lot was discussed and it was a very long process. But some of the topics that were discussed, we had a Q1 re-review. After sending out some of the budget report warnings from quarter 1, there was just some new information that I learned, so I brought to the committee to reevaluate those warnings and potentially re-vote and rediscuss those things. Next, we looked at all of the ASG Q2 expenditures from all of the ASG funded centers and exec. And lastly, we did the allocation of the Spring 2025 budgets. So starting with the quarter 1 re-review, we had 2 warnings that we looked at. So the first one was for Mikasa under the line item 12 stream. They had a warning to return $66.44. That warning has now been removed as we had learned that the expense was tracked under the incorrect event. So they corrected it so it was under the correct event and it follows the allocations for that specific event. And then the second one was for SSS under Empower Hour. The warning was to return $49.87. However, that warning has also been removed as snacks do not have to follow the BIPOC small or local business owned guideline. Moving on to the fall quarter 2 budget reports, all ASG funded centers and exec budget reports were approved. We did have 2 follow-ups. The first one was for TRIP. It was just a reminder to continue using a BIPOC and small business restaurant. And the second one was for the LGBTQ plus commons. There was a request to return $187.12 since food was purchased from a non-BIPOC owned restaurant. Now moving on to some fun numbers. First we have the Spring 2025 budget. You can kind of see we have the balance remaining to allocate. This is based off the annual, the yearly budget and then subtracted what we allocated in the fall. That was around $530,000, and then we had unspent funds from the quarter 2 budget reports, and then we also have rollover from the previous year. Usually rollover we would look at in Q1 and reallocate, allocate out, but since it was kind of on the lower end for this semester, we decided to just put it into the Q2 overall spring budget. So the new Spring 2025 allocation budget was around $631. And then how that kind of split between the fall and the and the spring budget is, it's about a 62 and 38% split of the yearly budget. We did have a request to roll over funding from the Vice President. The Vice President requested to roll over around $16,000 from fall academic and travel grants. So how that'll work is instead of it kind of that funds expiring and going back to ASG for Q3, those funds would just remain in her budget and it would just roll over into the spring, and it does not come out of the spring budgets. And so that was approved by the Finance Committee. Taking a look at the spring 2025 request, it might be a little small up there, but you can kind of see an overview of how much is being requested and the percentage compared to the spring 2025 budget and as well as the yearly budgets. The amount requested was 150% of the actual spring budget, so we did have to not fund many different items. So, and then moving on to the allocation, again, very similar overview. You're able to see how much in each category, so the exec, TBB, centers, and ASG Ops and Creative Zone, how much they were funded, as well as the percentages of the spring budget that was allocated towards them, and how much of the yearly budgets. If you want to see like a more specific, like how much each center or how much each exec budget was allocated, that can be found in the fall 2024, spring 2025 budget. And we did allocate 100% of the spring 2025 budget, so there's nothing left as of now. Okay, thank you. So after this, this is what the presentation is to send it is for, is to finally approve the Q2 budget reports with follow-ups and the spring 25 allocations. You do have to, there is an additional item you have to approve as well, which is the Q1 re-reviews. So it'd be 3 items. Q1 re-review, Q2 budget reports, follow-ups, and the spring 2025 allocations. Are there any questions?
The speaker budget board?
So would that be 3 different motions, or could we just combine them into one?
You can combine it into one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Finance Chair. Is there any discussion, any questions? Senator Onica.
I move to approve the Q2 budget reports with follow-ups and the spring 2025 allocations, Q1 and Q3. Sorry.
Q1 re-review.
Q1 re-review and
Spring
2025 allocations. Yes.
There's been a motion on the floor that has been seconded to approve Q1 re-review, Q2 budget reports, and the spring 2025 allocations. Is there any discussion? I can assure you the Finance Committee worked really, really hard. I will let you know that. Well, if there's no further discussion,
You could just abstain.
we will now, We will now move on to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed, any abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you. All right. So agenda is the approval of new and re-registered student organizations.
The organizations listed have missed the September 30th deadline and have completed the new club registration process. The additional step is for them to attend a student org committee meeting to be reviewed. The SOC approved these organizations for registration. Are there any questions or comments?
The speaker pro tempore.
I move to approve the old/new re-registering organizations.
Second.
There's been a motion on the floor that has been seconded to approve the re-registration of all new student organizations. Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, we will now move on to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed, any abstentions? Motion passes.
The organizations listed have completed the new club registration process and have completed all necessary steps regarding registration. The next step was for them to attend a student org committee meeting. The SOC approved this organization for registration. Teaming up, the mission of this organization is to spread awareness about gun control around campus and to start increasing safe community dialogue about the important issues surrounding gun control through policy reform, industry oversight, and culture change. The Latino Business Student Association, their purpose is to empower the Latinx community at USD by providing professional development, networking, and leadership opportunities. They promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, preparing members to excel as ethical leaders in business and communities. In Letters of Love, their purpose is to let every child facing health concerns know they are loved, supported, and never alone. Letters of Love makes and distributes cards and other support items to children's hospitals across the country. Are there any questions or comments?
The athletics coordinator.
I move to approve the new registering organizations.
Second.
There's been a motion on the floor that has been seconded to approve the new registered organizations. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, we will now move on to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed, any abstentions? Motion passes. Thank you, Senator Grace. All right, next item on the agenda is reports from me. All right, so office hours should be over. Do not do any ASG work anymore. Focus on your school and your grades and doing well. Get that bread. Good job, everyone. Senators, please update your Google Calendar for next year when you have a chance. You know, I do love to get organized really early, so I will be checking, but I won't annoy you about it till January. So, you know, just when you have the ability to do so, because your committee chairs will be checking to, you know, create hopefully a very constant meeting time. Just wanted to put this on your radar. Spring training is February 1st. You know, I believe that it has already been shared in your Google Calendars, but just in case y'all forgot, I just wanted to remind you. And lastly, I just want to say thank you. You all have been an amazing team, and you are all so amazing, and you really make my life easy as a leader because you're just so great. So thank you for all the hard work, and I can't wait to see what we do in the spring. Next on the agenda is reports from the Senate Lead Team.
Okay, hi everyone. I also just wanted to say that I'm very proud of the work that everyone has done this semester. I've been working on the speaker schedule for spring. We already have, I believe, 3 people now planned. Oh yes, President Harris is one of them. We are super excited about that. Loved the few one-on-ones I got to squeeze in this week, and good luck on all of your finals. I know everyone's gonna do great.
Happy holidays, everyone. Good luck in finals. Congratulations for spending over $10,000 for Senate initiatives this semester. Well done. And special shout out to Senator Sarah and Gabriella. They majority had their names on the Senate initiative sheet. Sarah been having 3 Senate initiatives and Gabriella 4. And this leaves us with $3,188 left. That doesn't really
I don't have any new updates, but I can't wait to see you all at the holiday party and have such a good break, everyone.
Thank you, Senate Lead Team. Next are the reports from the committee chairs and coordinators. So I believe the student org chair had to leave, so we will start by the idea chair with Senator Jonathan. Thank you.
All right, I will read hers. I will not acknowledge the Chiefs, go Niners. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna, no. So she says happy last Senate of 2024. Sorry she couldn't stay the entire Senate and had to go take a midterm finals. Okay. We all made it through Q2 Finance Committee meetings. Thanks, Kayla, for her patience and hard work. And this week, members of the Student Org Committee attended GBMs and got great feedback, and will be working on how to run a Student Org USD edition guide. Oh, that sounds great, actually. She's working with me, the idea chair, and the aesthetics department about Student Org the locker initiative, and we actually both worked on a survey last week to receive input from different student orgs, and reviewed 6 student org registrations, and the next committee meeting will be February 3rd. Okay. And now for me, first and foremost, Feliz Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe. We all got through Q2 meetings last week, and then I narrated the Virgen de Guadalupe play during the Mass on Sunday, had my final one-on-one with JC yesterday, and we were able to discuss some great initiatives and ideas I want to work on for next semester. The UFMC is having their finals week study space, and for my random sports fact of the day, back in 1973, the San Diego Padres filed an antitrust lawsuit against the National League to stop the team from moving to Washington, D.C. So yeah, please take care of yourselves and good luck on finals.
Hello, happy Thursday, happy last Senate of the semester, end of the year. So happy holidays from the student-led committee. It's been really awesome working with them. As far as lift codes go, publicity is coming soon. We finally have our flyer put together. We'll be sending it over for approval soon, I believe. Grocery lift codes, we had a lot more use this past week. Usually we average about $500 per week. This week we reached almost 1,000 used up this past Sunday. And as far as current projects, you will hear about it next semester. Thank you.
Hi guys, hi everyone, happy last Senate. Yeah, I went to the Guadalupe Mass this Sunday. It was so beautiful. I hope you guys all got to see it. It was actually so amazing. Thank you, Jonathan, for narrating the last part of that. Updates, working on new things for next semester. I'm really excited. Talked to Jonathan actually about some ideas I had soon to come. Games this week, women's basketball versus CSUN on the 14th. Now that I'm realizing it's our last Senate, there is another game on Thursday of next week that you guys should all check out against Washington. And then if you guys are still in town, the 21st, the men's basketball and women's basketball are having this event. Women's basketball playing Gonzaga and men's basketball playing UC San Diego. Thank you.
Okay. I put on like a video of the student wellness center that's gonna be open soon. I hope all is well. Finals will be over before we know it. So good luck, everyone. And then this week, I guess I was still doing Senate stuff, but I met with Kimberly and we were talking about if we were to do like free STI testing maybe for the spring semester, and then just reaching out to Anne, Kimmel, and Serena, and then I'm working on some ideas for spring initiatives, and I put that on there about yoga by the hour. I guess it's called Yoga Palooza, but it sounds like they have really good ideas, so I'm not sure if they need any other ideas, but yeah. And then my fun fact is, did you know that laughing can boost your immune system? A good laugh increases the production of antibodies and activates protective cells like T cells, helping your body fight off illnesses. So laughter is truly a powerful medicine.
Thank you for everyone who showed up to the tram event on Saturday. It's just crazy because I feel like I've been planning it for so long and it already happened, so I'm pretty glad about that. We just got some feedback, just like I was able to talk with Sean with parking services, and then also Rudd, who was like the actual driver of the tram, and he said like no students at all like used it before 11 because it was like from 10 to 5. So maybe just like if we did decide to do that in the spring, like just kind of adjusting the schedule or something like that, or making sure students are like aware of that they can use it before. So it was only about like 30 students, I think, who used the service, but he said the pickup times were good and the hours were good. And so just thank you to everyone who like helped put that together with just that event. And then I met on Sunday with some people from Changemaker, and we talked more about sustainable green move out. So there's just a lot of different things that we need to just talk about discussing that. So if anyone else has ideas of like things that you think really get wasted during move out, I'm sure people who are like seniors or juniors and you've seen a lot of move outs happen, you know what gets wasted the most. So something that we like really do need to focus on. So yeah, so just give me any ideas if you have any.
Thank you. Now we will do the executive updates and reports.
Happy Thursday, everyone. So I attended the Q2 Finance Committee meetings last week. And then on Monday, I met with Sami, the travel liaison, as well as UC admissions. And so my meeting with Sami was just about the work that her office has done over the last couple of years. And then with UC admissions about student panels that I'm going to be sitting on next semester regarding prospective students. And then the vice president was my proxy for the mobility and parking committee this past Tuesday. And then the icing tickets were a hit. We had about 73 students interested, but only 30 tickets available. So all those emails went out with the ticket and lift code to the students to Liberty Station. And then last day to fill out the student feedback surveys is December 15th. So that's this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So please tell your constituents. And if you need any support, please feel free to reach out to me, and have a great holiday season. Next is the Vice President's reports. She says, hi everyone, apologies. Life has been crazy. Her updates are grants are done. Academics Committee did incredible. All allocations have been accepted, and great job to Academics Committee, she said. And then she's currently at Core Curriculum Committee, and on Tuesday she went to Undergraduate Curriculum Committee and Mobility Parking Committee as well. And she said everything went well, and to please reach out if you have any questions.
Hi, I only put one thing on my slide this week because I really want to highlight it for you all. Our lovely Kayla Fan is graduating, and then Dean is also transferring to another university in the spring. So we will have 2 open judicial branch positions. So if you guys can spread the word, those applications are going to open in January and then close at the end of January. So they're only going to be open over break. Yeah, it's really important we fill these because judicial branch is really small. So if one person now is like sick or they can't attend something, we lose quorum and can't do anything. So please, please, please tell your friends. I put some team photos up so you can see how fun it is. Yeah.
Hello. The fall 2024 TBV team was fantastic. We put on a total of 9 events. And we really fulfilled our goal of trying to make more purposeful and meaningful events, which was great. And then we just hired 2 new event coordinators for the spring, which is super exciting. We have 2 event coordinators going abroad next spring, that's why. And then, yeah, have a fabulous break.
Hello, happy Thursday. The last AHBC recap for the fall semester, we finally made it and there was budget left. We only reviewed just about 12 requests, as it was towards the end of the semester. About 3,000 was allocated, and also we made some new edits to the AHBC funding guidelines. Finance committee was last week. Thank you all for approving those. And special thanks to all the finance committee members. I'm very proud of you all. I know it was tough having back-to-back meetings, but you guys did it. So the final AHBC budget update for the fall, available we had $30,000 and our balance is at 80. But the last day to submit all receipts and stuff is this Friday, so I'm sure there's still a lot coming in and needing to be processed. My last financial purchase of the week, I went to Hot Pot with the ASA e-board, as that is my last semester on e-board with them. So it was really nice to finally bond, not at school.
Happy last Senate to all the senators for the fall semester. If you have not picked up your ASG polo, please do so before the end of break. I have the box with me right now, so if you are available after Senate, we can get that done. We had a very successful event last Thursday, so there was promotions, I apologize, promotions for the surveys, so thank you to everyone who came out. We're just working on the end of the semester social media campaigns. Like the Chief Justice said, we're going to have applications for both Associate Justice and Senator applications for the spring. So when those do go out, please do your best to repost, spread the word to all your constituents. And I hope you all have a great rest of your semester.
Hi everyone, we have our holiday party tomorrow, please go, it'll be fun, promise. It's at 6 p.m. It's in Gift Day Conference Room G. I know that feels like really far away, it's on the opposite side of campus, but yeah. And then it is PJs, and also there is an optional white elephant that we're going to do. It's $15 limit, you do not have to participate, but it's an option. Okay, thank you.
My white elephant present's great. Thank you all for those updates. Just want to remind you all that the academics chair position is still very much open. Thank you to those who have already shared your interest. If you still have any interest, please let me know by Sunday. Interviews will not be till next, training, but I would like to know anyone that's interested. At this time, any member of the public, if you would like to say anything, this is your time. The athletics coordinator. Oh, advisor Jen.
My apologies. Hi everyone. Just wanted to wish you all a happy, successful finals and a really great, relaxing break. On behalf of the team, the advising team, we wanted to give you a little goodie bag. So we have some over here that we're going to pass out at the end of Senate. So please come by and grab one. Just a little something to say we're rooting for you and we wish you all well for this time. And if you need us, we're available. But take care.
Thank you. The athletics coordinator.
I move to adjourn Senate.
Second.
There's been a motion on the floor to adjourn Senate that has been seconded. Is there any discussion? No? All right. All those in favor, please raise your placards. All those opposed, any abstentions? Senate